You have probably wondered, what's the worst thing that can happen in my life? Allow me to answer that question for you. It's not you losing your ex-girlfriend. It's not you losing your job. It's not your family members passing away. It's not the world around you crumbling. The worst thing that can happen to you is that you don't happen at all. That you never make your mark. That you never live your life. Because it doesn't matter how other people view you. It only matters at the end how much you enjoyed it. Because nobody's going to be around at the end. You come into this world alone and you die alone. And the only opinion that really mattered the most was your own. There's a reason why they tell you to go out there, love yourself, put yourself first, do things for yourself. Because if everyone just went out there and did things for themselves and loved themselves, well, the world would probably be a better place. These people are hating on you. Most people don't even like themselves. Let that sink in. The same opinions that stopped you from doing what you were going to do are going to eventually drown out. The same people are all eventually going to be gone. Imagine this. Imagine there's someone out there who went out there and did everything that they said that they were going to do. They did it. They lived it for a few years and then they died. Whatever. You probably feel the same way as everyone else would if you were to be that person to go out there, complete all of your hopes and dreams. Because in reality, you're not meant to be remembered. You're just here to feel it while you still can. While you still have air in your lungs, while there's still a body to move, a world to live in, a mind to use, feet to walk with. You don't think. You don't think it matters until you lose it, And even when you're ungrateful for it, even when there's every distraction in the world trying to stop you from doing what you're trying to do, that is exactly when you need to push forward and just do it anyway. Realize that you need to do it afraid. Do it without purpose. Do it without meaning, because you make the meaning and you make the purpose. It just doesn't matter. Trying to get your attention or not, it's okay. It's okay. Because eventually you can always come back. Whatever you decide to do in life, whether you decide to move away, jump over the fourth wall, say something, not that you could take back what you say, but I'm just talking about you can always come back in life. You could always give it a second shot. You could always try again and try again and try again, because if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Okay? Even when there's something inside your eye, I guess. Realize this. What you are not changing in this life, you are actively choosing. Okay? Yes, you might not like what you're doing, but you're choosing it every single day. You're choosing to wake up late. You're choosing to go to sleep late. You're choosing to let that thing bother you because it just doesn't matter. Yes, it's irritation, distraction. But if you can get over it, maybe you could see the other side. And everything could just be better. Maybe it won't be. Because I'm not saying that if you go out there and follow life's plans accordingly, that everything is going to be okay. Because it might not be. That's the reason why they say pick your poison in this life. There's a reason why movies, video games, and TV shows have happy endings. It all comes to a good conclusion. Just to make up for the fact that in real life, there really rarely are any happy endings. You know, because you might think your death might look like, oh, I don't know, getting hit by a car, heroically trying to save somebody, or burning in a building, or, I don't know, drowning, or just maybe falling down your steps. I don't know. But in reality, allow me to paint a picture. You're in your hospital bed. Your family's surrounding you. You're thinking about all the things you didn't do. Nothing you did. I mean, at a point you realize, why would you regret something you once wanted? And then you realize that it just doesn't matter because you're doing it for you anyway. That's why you need to allow yourself in this life to say what you want to say. Because as you're sitting in that hospital bed with your family surrounding you, you slowly fade, leaving this world left behind. Because I can tell you one thing. I don't know where you go, but you are never going to be you again. Know the same people, do the same things, unless you live the same life over and over and over and over again. But that's a long shot. Say it now. Do it now. If eternity is forever, then what are you waiting for? You have to allow things in this life to pass. Everything is temporary, the good and the bad. Live it up while you still can. I cry at night sometimes too. You know, sometimes you just have to let it all out, away from everybody, because you don't want to be the burden. You don't want to be somebody that people look down upon. Oh, what's wrong with you? Do you need help? I'm doing so great. That's not how you want to be looked at. You think you got it, you know, but asking for help in this life is not a sign of giving up. It's a sign of the exact opposite. A refusal to give up. And this will just show, no matter how many bad things happen, no matter how far you get, you could still do it. You could still do anything that you want to do. Even when you're sitting there, your heart is pounding, you don't know if you could do it. You can. You need to get up, put your best foot forward, and realize that you are worth it. That you are capable, that you are strong, smart, and people who cannot see that do not deserve your presence. Okay, because you deserve to go where you are celebrated in this life, not tolerated. Like I said, the worst thing that could possibly happen to you is that you don't happen at all. That you don't take the risk. Because to live is to risk it all. Risk something, your emotions, money, something. Your pride, your ego, your feelings. You put something on the line. You get out there and you make your best effort. You know, because you may not seem like you're doing it right, but in reality, nobody does it right. So why not just do it your way? You know, if nothing matters anyway, why not just do it all? Why not feel it while you're still here? Because getting put into this world, you may not realize it, but it's probably the luckiest thing that could probably ever happen to you. You know, I'm developing a little headache behind my eyeballs right now. I guess I'm grateful to even have a head and a body to even experience headache in the first place, right? Because living is always better than dying, unless your life is hell. You know, unless every waking minute is disgusting, you know, because think about this. A negative mind will never create a positive life, but a negative life will never create a positive mind. It's just not how it works. You have to realize that you dictate your environment. Your environment does not dictate you. And sometimes you just need a shift in energy, a shift in perspective, a change in the way that you look at things in this life. And maybe it'll be different. Maybe you will finally be able to see it clearly. Because you're thinking about a future that doesn't even exist. You're ruining the present moment. You're not going with the flow. You're not matching frequency. You're like swimming backwards in a river that is flowing forward. The river will only ever go forward. What happened back there just doesn't matter anymore. Because it doesn't matter what happened. It only matters what you decide to do right now. Because it wasn't your fault. But it is your responsibility to take care of it. So live your life to the fullest. And realize what you have right now is so amazing. Live your life. Get out there. You said yesterday, tomorrow, and today is today. Today is tomorrow, but it will never be tomorrow. I don't know. Time is weird. Days are weird. Made up. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Enjoy your day. Stay positive. And don't let this world, and most importantly, don't let yourself bring you down. And realize this. You can never, ever, because I've tried, hate yourself into loving yourself. It just won't work.